didn't used to be this way, but these days, in today's day and age, you gotta get one. You can't think you're special. In this video, we're gonna be talking about why that is, the importance behind them, and ways to get it done in a fair way. This isn't to put down women. This isn't to uplift men or anything like that. It's just pure logic, common sense, and it's a way for everybody to stay protected. Obviously, everybody's heard this topic before. It's a pretty popular topic, but I have a unique perspective on it, I think, and I want to share that with you guys today. Obviously, everybody's heard this topic before. It's a pretty exhausted one, but I think I have a unique perspective on it, and I want to share that today. I think one of the most important parts of a prenup that people don't talk about or they don't lead with is that the prenup is not just to protect the man, it's also to protect the woman. And a lot of times these are unfavorable conversations because it's usually stemming from the man making a lot more money or him being the breadwinner, and the woman doesn't feel comfortable with her long-term protection. Now, there's many different ways to build protections for a woman, so the conversation really doesn't have to end there. It's just that it's a difficult one to have, it's distasteful, and a lot of people and a lot of couples don't want to sit down and have the hard conversations to set things up properly so that both people are protected. So I think it's important to present this conversation in a way that will protect you, yourself, presenting it as the man and the woman. You want to show her why you want the prenup, protecting your assets. In regards to protecting your assets, you want to present it in a way that shows her that she's protected. So if you're going to propose a prenup where everybody comes into the relationship and they keep their own debt if things end, the house is split 50-50 and everything is kind of split down the middle, that's an easy conversation to have. But if you're trying to present it in a way that you're the man, let's say you make $100,000, she makes $50,000, and you're trying to tell her that if she divorces you, she gets nothing, that's not going to work for her most likely. So you have to find another way to build some protections for her. So something that you could do is you could tell her, or you could set up an account to where you could set it up as every year that she's with you, she gets $1,000 in that account that she doesn't need to touch. Maybe it's a separate account that's just called the marriage account or the commitment account. It incentivizes her to stay with you because the longer she stays, the more money she makes. And obviously, the reason you're able to do that, let's say you're a millionaire and you want to set this up for somebody who maybe makes $50,000 to $100,000 a year. That's a pretty big deal for them to have an account that's just stacking up $1,000 per year. So it's still helping her more than she would be able to help herself, most likely. And it's protecting you from the big bucks. It's protecting you from lawyer fees. It's protecting you from losing half your stuff. And she sees that there's a reward for every year she stays with you. So it incentivizes her to actually stay rather than her being incentivized to leave. And that's the thing with divorce in general is as soon as people start having hiccups in their relationship, they're incentivized to end it. The man's incentivized to end it because he thinks he's going to go out on the market and be able to sleep with a bunch of women. The woman's incentivized to end it because she thinks she's going to go out here, find another man, and she's going to leave with half your stuff, assuming you were the breadwinner. So why not set up an account for you, an account for her, an account together, and then maybe a fourth account where you just put a certain amount of money in every year that you guys stay together for her. That's like her protection. Because the conversation that women like to have or throw out there is that they're in marriage for the protection of it. They're in marriage for the long haul. So if you're in it for the long haul, the longer you stay, the more rewards you get. So I guess in a way, if you really don't like the man or you want to leave, then just try to last a little longer so you got more money in there. But the only reason he would have that type of money in there in the first place is because he has more on his own. So it doesn't kill his pockets. And it removes the lawyer fees. The lawyer fees is the thing that kills most men because that's just a person, an outside source that's going to go look through your finances, see what you have, and try to raise prices on everything. So for somebody, they might be charging them $100, $200 an hour. Well, lawyers charge a lot more. They might be charging $500 an hour for person X. And for person B, which is you, they're going to charge $5,000 an hour because they can see in your account that you have millions of dollars, right? So they're going to charge you crazy. You want to avoid having lawyers go into your finances and be cutting and slicing and messing with things. A lot of guys just aren't comfortable having these conversations, and that's why prenups are so uncommon. Men are very sex focused, they're unintentional, they're lazy a lot of times, and they just don't want to sit and have the difficult conversations because they're so focused on pleasing the woman that any distasteful conversation or anything that might cause a little bit of turmoil or potentially lead to less sex is something that they don't want to bring up because, quite frankly, they just don't have enough self-respect and they don't have enough intention about their life. My woman knows, God knows, my mom knows, everybody in my family knows I would never get married without a prenup. And if that meant that I'm with no one and I die alone, that's what I'm going to do because I have self respect. I also have children, so I'm not going to risk the stuff that I want to give to them. I'm not saying that I won't protect and provide for my woman. I'm not saying that I won't give her hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. I'm not saying that I would ever, you know, give her nothing on her way out. It doesn't even matter what she does to me. I would always be fair. Even if my woman cheated on me and left me, I would still make sure that she's okay because she's a human being. But that's the heart that I have. That's just me. You guys don't have to be that way. You can be cold if you want to, but I just suggest to get this conversation passed and to get the conversation even able to be had, you present it in a way that gives her some sort of protection. You want to present it as a protective order for you and her, not just yourself. And you also don't want to present it like you're assuming it's going to fail because that's also not healthy for both of you. We already know what happens if you don't do a prenup. We already know what happens if everything goes wrong. You could potentially be homeless. You could potentially have lawyer fees way beyond your capabilities. You could lose your kids. You could lose your house. I mean, it's just too much you could lose. It doesn't make sense to not do one. And I'll go as far as to say this: any woman who won't do a prenup, any woman who won't have that conversation, it's honestly a blessing to your life that you could find that out and you could walk away. Because even if you weren't going to do a prenup and you didn't believe in one, I would still suggest you bring that conversation up to see if she's logical enough, calm enough, and understanding of a man's plight to be able to at least have the conversation and see why you might want to do that, what trauma you have from your past that makes you feel unprotected or unsafe. It would show that she cares about you. If she's just like, nope, I'm not doing it. I need a man who's gonna trust and believe in love and fairy tales and fluffy stuff that's supposed to last forever. The truth is, stuff doesn't last forever. A lot of times, you have that burning desire for somebody in the beginning, and then when it fades, that's when stuff starts to happen. That's when you start to see if people really care about you. That's when you start to see if they really truly do want to protect you in this lifetime. That's when you start to see what true love is really about. So I believe any woman who does not agree with a prenup needs to get away from me immediately. Like, run from me. I don't want anything to do with you. I'm scared of you. If you won't have a prenup conversation, I'm terrified of being around you. I'm worried that you're going to involve the cops in our relationship if something happens. I'm worried that you're going to be recording things secretly, trying to set things up in a way where it makes me look bad. I simply do not trust you for my life. I don't want you anywhere near it. I don't want you near my kids. As soon as you bring up a prenup conversation and a woman shoots it down like it's not even going to be a discussion, you should be done as a man. Everybody understands the climate that we're in right now. Everybody understands that women are incentivized to leave you. We get that. When they leave you, they leave with money. They leave with full custody. They file temporary restraining orders and then they take the kids from you for months. As soon as they file the restraining order, they do child support paperwork to get you to have to start paying child support immediately. You couldn't afford $1,000 of child support. You guys are barely making it on bills. But she doesn't care though. It's about her now. But she loved you last month, but this month you're on child support. So protect yourself from this stuff. There's no reason to put yourself through this. I mean, it could still happen and the prenup could still get thrown out. So why not at least try to have the conversation and set yourself up in the best way you possibly could? All you got to do is try to do the best you can, and then you can live with the results. So hopefully you guys took something from this. Hopefully somebody out there is listening. In my mind, there's a 17-year-old young man, just like myself, just like I was, who really loves somebody, and he can't see any possible way that the relationship will fail. He's 110% sure that this is the perfect person for him. She's a 10. She has a great personality. She's sweet. She cooks. She cleans. She's everything. Listen, you gotta be intentional about your life. You have to put yourself first. Self love is respecting the future you. Self love is doing the things that would protect the future you. It doesn't matter how you feel right now. Feelings change, people change. A lot of times you're not even fighting the woman, you're fighting her friend, her mom. You're fighting everyone around her. And as soon as she has a couple people in her ear telling her how bad you are, her victim mentality is going to make her believe it. Now she has the justification to ruin your life. It's not about her, it's about everyone around her. It's about the media, it's about the economy. It's about everything. It's about her survival instincts. She's going to put herself first. If she loves you now, she should protect you forever. If she loves you now, she should protect you forever. I hope this reaches somebody, and I know it will.